players entered the 2020 offseason with greater hype and expectations than Jamaree Salyer. Part of this is because he was a five-star prospect when he first signed in 2018 and is actually the highest-rated offensive line prospect that Georgia has signed since Kirby Smart took over as the head coach. But another reason why hype has been so big around Salyer this offseason is because of how he played in that Sugar Bowl win. He held his own at the right tackle spot, a spot very few expected him to start at any point in his Georgia career. The reason Salyer ended up making his first career start in that Sugar Bowl victory is because Andrew Thomas and Isaiah Wilson both sat out that game to prepare for the 2020 NFL Draft. Each of those players went on to be taken in the first round, meaning Georgia has some pretty big shoes to fill at either of those tackle spots. And right now, there's the expectation that Salyer is going to be one of those guys. Salyer has continued to work this offseason and make himself a better player for the upcoming 2020 season, even if he hasn't been doing so from the confines of Athens. Salyer didn't get a chance to showcase any of the gains he had made during spring practice as it had been canceled with COVID-19. But that hasn't stopped him from working out and continuing to get better and reshape his body this offseason. He's worked out quite a bit with Thomas and has actually made some very impressive gains of his own. He's actually lost a good bit of weight as well, as he's now under 315 pounds. This has caught the attention of a lot of Georgia fans, and including his own head coach, Kirby Smart. Salyer was listed at over 325 pounds on the Georgia roster this last year, and many are trying to figure out what this might mean. Is Georgia trying to get more athletic on the offensive line, or is Salyer just trying to get in better shape and get in better possible position to play one of those more athletic tackle spots this coming year? Either way you slice it, Salyer is clearly taking this coming 2020 season very seriously and trying to get in his best possible shape as he can be. And so far, he's done that to the best of his abilities. But it's also what Salyer said and did after the NCAA announced that players could start coming back to campus. And with Georgia announcing players will be back on June 8th to begin voluntary workouts, Salyer was one of the first players to react positively to the news, excited at the prospect and possibility of once again working out with his teammates and working at some of the world-class facilities that Georgia has to offer. In addition to his own performance, Thomas, Wilson, as well as Solomon and Kinley all spoke about Salyer potentially being a leader for this 2020 Georgia offensive line. But what Salyer has shown already at this point in the offseason is that he's not just going to be a leader and perhaps one of the best players on Georgia's offensive line. He might be doing so for the entire team. And that's a very good sign for the Bulldogs, given that Thomas and Wilson were just that a season ago. A lot of Georgia players have shown that they've been willing to put in the work and get better this offseason. But no one has done it at quite the same level that Salyer has. That's why even in this truncated, weird stretch of the offseason where players weren't allowed to work out in front of coaches and in the confines of Athens, Salyer has been one of the biggest, if not the winner for the Georgia offseason. And expect that to continue as players are now back on campus, working out again, getting better and better for the start of the 2020 season, which seems to now actually be a realistic possibility. Salyer is going to be a leader for the Georgia offensive line this year, and based off what we've seen so far, that's probably going to extend for the rest of the team. For Dog Nation, I'm Connor Riley.
For more Dog Nation videos, check out youtube.com/DogNation.